So B Squad here on the Thursday. Drew Carter, Dave Brand here as always to go over some fine stories in the sports world with the most honest opinions on the internet. So here we go. Mike Woodson against J.R. Smith. What the fuck is going on with the New York Knicks? Could possibly be a better question. He sat out for the second time, was benched at least. Second time in the last 4 games. Here's what Mike Woodson said to Stephen A. Smith on the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio. Why did he, J.R. Smith, not see the floor last night? Quote, I think it's a privilege to wear a uniform in this league, which is true. There's only 30 teams. There's only so many players on each team. I think every player has a responsibility and got to be accountable for what they do on a ball club. And then he also went on to say, we want the best for JR. He's got to be more of a pro, especially in terms of his approach to the game. We need JR to play, but again, he's got to grow up and be more of a professional about his approach. Nobody's bigger than the team. So I like that. I like Mike Woodson being honest with them, not only Stephen A. Smith and his co-host, but also with the public, and just saying, look, it's a privilege to be in the league. We love JR. I support JR, but what he's doing right now just isn't cool.
But we have no idea what he's doing right now. I mean,
he's untying people's shoes.
Yeah, he's untying people. Yeah, that's unprofessional or whatever.